All right, let's get into it, man. Welcome back to another live feed, the top 100 underrated R&B songs. Let's get into it, man. RAMP, I think that stands for Warriors Music Project. Daylight, great song. Should have been a number one hit, but the song remained in relative obscurity until in the hip hop world, a Tribe Called Quest used this record as a sample for Bonita Applebum in 1990 off the People's Distinct Tribes and Passive Rhythm. Classic stuff, man. Let's get into it, man. Roy Ayers Musical Productions, that's what's of his projects. Roy Ayers Musical Productions. Seems like that's what the acronym stands for Daylight. It's underrated because it was a commercial non-hit from 1977 cult classic album. It remained an underground, rare groove, secret blending jazz funk instrumentation and dreamy female harmonies, famous mostly among crate diggers and hip hop producers rather than radio listeners in the mainstream. It is overlooked because one album mystery. Ramp, Roy Ayers Musical Productions, released a studio LP coming to knowledge in 1977. That was only one album they released before disbanding. It lacked a long promotional career to build mainstream pop or R&B stardom. Underground distribution is the reason why it's overlooked because it was released on ABC Blue and Thumb. The album failed to chart heavily or receive continuous commercial rotation at the time. Genre-defining sound, sitting right on the border of sophisticated jazz fusion, complex vocal harmonies, and mellow soul, it did not fit neatly into the standard radio formats. The Roy Ayers touch. He produced this album, produced this song. Trademark warm, breezy aesthetic. His vibraphone on his guidance. Sharon Matthews and Sybil Thrasher delivered the harmonies, interlocking together, feeling hypnotic rather than traditional. Again, obviously the legacy, the hip hop world know Tribe Called Quest used that as a sample for Bonita Applebum. Right, so we're done with that. Let's get into more reasons why this song is underrated. Thanks for the 10 people tuning in. Hit the like button. Now, it was a commercial failure. Despite being an R&B masterpiece that was underrated, it completely vanished upon its release. But again, decades later, hip-hop producers and vinyl crate diggers discovered it and used it as a sample. So commercial failure and one album wonder is the reason why this is underrated. Obviously, the band, the group, disbanded, left, broke up because the album flopped. So Daylight was like a one album hit in terms of becoming a crate digger specialty for people to use for sampling. That's what it stood out with this one, is that the album definitely wasn't recognized commercially, but that song Daylight became a song that Tribe Called Quest would use. They the best to ever use it for Bonita Applebum, that first album. So Tribe Called Quest definitely did a lot of crate digging, whoever's responsible for that record to be made. As far as finding the record, this is a hidden gem right here. So it had a commercial failure, instantly, vanished. This album coming to knowledge in 1977. They broke up, the album flopped. Despite Roy Ayers doing this thing on it, he didn't perform in the band. He produced and arranged the song, Roy Ayers, and co-wrote the track alongside Edward Birdsong, who's a funk legend in his own right. So the bass line was done by Nate White, the clear rim shot, crystal clear by John Manuel, and dreamy celestial Fender Rose keyboards. So again, like I said, this song led to crate diggers digging for this, famously the Tribe Called Quest, for their 1990 classic Bonita Applebum. Even J Dilla used it for Common's Come Close remix featuring Erykah Badu. Mos Def used it as a foundation for Miss Fat Booty. Even Erykah Badu covered it live during her concerts. So this song led to hip hop jumping on it to make it what it is. So that's it, man. That's the reason why this is a classic, underrated song in R&B history. So that's it, man. Come back with the next one. This is number 43. So we're getting close to the number one underrated song in hip hop and R&B history. We'll be finished with that probably by the end of the week. But until then, talk to you soon.